Hello everyone, just a dad. Today I'm going to show you how to use this Perfect Pod reusable K-Cup with the Farberware single serve K-Cup machine. So I just got this single serve K-Cup machine from Walmart for $30. I just did a detailed review on using reusable using K-Cups, but it comes with a reusable filter that you can put your own coffee grounds in, but I didn't like it as much, and you get sediment in your coffee when you use this one. So Perfect Pod has a reusable K-Cup that's almost exactly the same size as a K-Cup. And we can use these little paper filters in there and put our own coffee grounds in here and prevent sediment. So here we have the Perfect Pod reusable K-Cup. It's got a nice O-ring for the lid. When it closes nice and tight. It's got a place for the needle to go on the top. And the bottom of it's recessed so the needle won't go in the bottom. Now when we compare it to a normal K-Cup, it's exactly the same size. The needle gets poked in the bottom on the K-Cup and on the top. Now this has got a really fine metal filter material, and it works okay. It's just you will get a little sediment in your coffee cup. You do have to use a paper filter. Inside these K-Cups, they use paper filters. They've got the coffee inside a paper filter, and it gets filtered before it comes out. That's why K-Cups don't have sediment. So any coffee that is like a normal grind for a normal coffee maker, just says ground coffee. If it's ground to the medium grind, it'll work just fine. You don't want anything too fine like an espresso grind or anything. But the important thing with this is we want to make sure and use the paper filter. So we got this paper filter, 100 of them come in this box. So we want to be sure and get this filter all the way down. They're kind of pre-formed, but we do have to push it down so that it goes all the way down. We need to make as much room as possible for these coffee grounds. So I've got it pushed down. It's okay if the paper filter is up by the lip, because when we close it, it's okay if the paper filter gets caught. We just don't want any coffee grounds down there. So Perfect Pod sells this Perfect Pod with this Easy Scoop all in one package for about $7 at Walmart. So it's 2 tablespoons. And that's what, amazingly, even though this thing is so much bigger, that's what this held. Its max line is right there. It held 2 tablespoons. So we're going to use the scoop. Again, these are just normal coffee maker grounds at the medium grind. I like to go just a little bit less than 2 scoops because of the filter in there. So we're going to put that down. Then you just dump it over and it goes right in there. It's okay if it mounds up a little bit. Okay, there. It's mounded up, that's fine. We just don't want any coffee grounds on the lip. Now I'm going to close this, make sure it's nice and tight. So see how that lid is all the way down, all the way around. That means there's no coffee grounds underneath the lip that can cause us a leak. Make sure there's no coffee grounds on the outside of it too. Those will make their way into your coffee maker. You might get a few coffee grounds up here. I just dumped those back. I just dumped those back into the container. Okay, so now we've got this. We can treat this like a normal K-Cup. So this Farberware, we're going to leave that K-Cup. This is the K-Cup holder. We're going to leave that in there. Even though it's got that needle in the bottom, when we put this in, it's going to sit flush. That needle's not going to penetrate that mesh down there. So we just leave it in there. We're going to close that. That needle will go right there. So we just close this. Now again, in my other videos, I show you that I like to brew my 2 tablespoon coffees, that's what's inside here. I like to brew those on the 8 ounce. You can brew it on the 6 ounce if you want a little stronger, or the 10 ounce if you want a little weaker. I'm going to pick my size, 8 ounce. I'm going to use the K-Cup button since we're using a K-Cup. And in probably about a minute, we'll have a coffee using any coffee grounds that you want with that reusable K-Cup. Okay, so it's really dark at first. And then as the water goes through that reusable K-Cup, it lightens up. So you'll definitely want to stir this when you want to drink it. So in my detailed review, this one's a little easier to work with. I mean, it's easier to put the coffee grounds in, but you do get some sediment in the bottom of your coffee cup that doesn't look the best. And I found that cleanup with this one was just kind of cumbersome because it's hot, dumping the coffee grounds out and that. So I've just gotten really used to these reusable K-Cups, and that's why I like to use them. So it takes about a minute to brew. So there you've got a coffee, an 8-ounce coffee, using your own coffee grounds. And it tastes really good. It's really hot. So cleanup is pretty easy. You're just going to lift this up. There's the reusable K-cup. You can take it out with this. It's going to be hot, so you want to be careful. So here we've got the reusable K-cup that we just brewed our coffee with. We're going to open it up. So you still do have to wash the top, but with that filter, it's a little easier to clean these up, I found, than that other, the one that comes with the machine. So there's your coffee now, and that filter really works well. So cleanup to me is a little simpler with this than with this big thing here. So again, this was just a simple video on reusing the Perfect Pod reusable K-cup. I see these all over at Walmart. It's Amazon's #2 best-selling reusable K-cup. I think they come in, there's a black one that might be the most popular, but there's a lot of different pink ones on the market. I hope this video helps, and check out my other videos where I show you how to descale this new Farberware. I also have a comparison. I compare it to a Keurig machine, and I also do a detailed review on how to use it with K-cups. So if you could, please like and subscribe.